It's 1 o'clock on the dot. Okay, let me stop. I'm no singer. I am no singer. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It is Friday. It is lunchtime for some. It's dinner time for some. It's close to bedtime for some. It just depends on where you are. I am LaShasta Bell, the professional sleep strategist, your professional sleep strategist. And as promised, I am here to talk about today the unveiling of the strategic planning sleepover. Y'all, when I tell you this, I'm just so excited. I hope I can make it make sense. And if by chance I do not be afraid to hit my DMs. Do not be afraid to book a call and let's have a conversation. So, I have to give a backstory to make it make sense. I guess it was about 4 years ago now, maybe 5 years ago. A group of friends and we were talking about our quarterly goals and talking about planning out for the quarter, exactly the things that business entrepreneurs talk about, say, let's do, let's go, et cetera, et cetera. And I had a friend and I have a friend. We are still friends. She is a HR guru. She is all things strategy and understanding the ins and outs of working and making your company work, et cetera, et cetera. Um, MKK Bell Consulting. Let me shout my girl out, Miss Michelin Bell. So she did a 3 hour planning session for us. So we all got together for these 3 hours and we would work on what were the liabilities of the company, what were the assets, all of the HR amazing stuff that take place to make sure things are in place. We would also start to plan our goals for the year, for each quarter. Now, let me tell y'all, I would leave like overwhelmed almost. I think we did this for 2 years or so, multiple, maybe, I don't know if it was multiple quarters. My memory sometimes fails me. Anyhow, I would call Missy on the phone and be like, hey, Missy, can I get on your schedule? I need to book some more time to finish up what we started. And of course, it was paid because while we are friends, let me tell you, I respect expertise and I don't mind paying for it. That's a little side note. So when you have friends that are experts, pay them because they paid to be experts. Anyhow, she and I would spend some time together. We would go through the things, map out some more things. And while I would feel more settled in what to do next and how to do it, it still didn't quite just gel for me. And I've always been a big believer, because I'm a God's girl, I've told you guys that before, that when a problem presents itself, that we look for solution, that we try to find a way to get an answer. We don't retreat. God is a God of increase, not digression, digressing, decreasing, moving backwards. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes we take a few steps back to launch further. But in this case, I just wholeheartedly believe there was something else, something more that I could do, and I wanted to make it make sense. So, some of the same friends that would do the sessions with MKK Consulting, I invited them and some others that had never done it. And I said, hey, I am wanting to get together with like minded women and strategize overnight around our personal and professional goals, barriers, and all. I want to call it a strategic planning sleepover. And I think I invited about 12 women that I knew, that I love, that I care about, that was in business. And six of them said yes. Actually, seven said yes. So it would be a total of eight of us. And one wasn't able to make it when it came time to plan, but she blessed us with a gift that keeps on giving. And that was planners. So we all had the same planners. So we got together, planned everything overnight, did so, did a local catering. We did yoga. We would play some games, and then just get into the nuts and bolts of the goals. And we did this quarterly for the first year. So the first year, every quarter we met. So I wasn't planning a whole year at once and not touching back. So we would plan and then touch back every quarter to discuss what worked, what didn't work, what are our barriers, how we could support one another. It grew to the point that as entrepreneurs, we would start doing content, doing the strategy sessions if we needed. Just whatever we needed, we were there for one another. Now, fast forward, it's 2 years later, and guess what? We are still doing our strategic planning sleepover. As a matter of fact, we just completed one the last weekend in September, and you guys will get to see some of that content soon. So I started working with a local school district, and in working with them, I was doing some consultation with some of the principals. And one of the principals asked, like, LaShasta, would you be willing or interested in helping me to create a proposal for a retreat for the principals? And now, can you imagine like my excitement of like, oh, I'm doing a retreat, I'm doing a retreat. So we put the proposal together, it's approved. I'm working getting all the things together. Now, if you don't know me, I love my sleep. I protect my sleep, I prioritize my sleep. I don't want to be waking from my sleep. But God decided to wake me one morning ish, right a few hours before it was really time for me to get up. And this was about 2 weeks before the event. And we were calling it the blind spot, because it was around helping them identify their blind spots that it was getting in the way of their professional and personal productivity. And he tells me, you're fumbling the ball. And I'm like, huh? You're fumbling the ball. So I'm like, first of all, God, like, why are you talking to me in football language? You know the sport, but I really don't like the sport. And I know it's football season, all the football fans. I love y'all, and I'm there for the snacks. Invite me if you have good snacks and food. That's what I'm there for. Long story short, the point was I was creating not a retreat for the principals, but a strategic planning sleepover. And it's called a sleepover because I want the participants to think about and come in with the energy that they did when they slept over with friends, or when they went to, like we used to say, spend the night. When you went to spend the night at grandma's house or Auntie Nim house, it was fun. It was a break from the usual. It was a time to rest. So while it's business, because we got the strategic planning, there is this level of rest and calm and childlike energy that I want the participants to have. And that's the reason why it's a sleepover. It's not a retreat, it's not a conference. Yes, we're business people. I've done the sleepover with entrepreneurs. I've done them with principals in a district. I've done them with the leadership team on a campus. All professionals, all leaders, but it's still a sleepover. We spend in the night. There's a game night that takes place where you just get to relax and laugh and enjoy and get to know the people that you spend the most time with. Because let's be honest, if you're on a leadership team, we spend more of our time at work than anywhere else. Entrepreneurs, we spend more of our time working in our business or on our business or both than anywhere else. So the first thing is to come and relax, take a breath, really get rooted in the sleepover part of it. And then the next morning we get to business. I've done them where there's 3 days, 2 nights. I've done it where there's 2 days, one night. And let me just tell you, they have been life changing for me. Many of the things that I've been able to do in business is because I have that strategy session. I have that sleepover. I have that time to be amongst like minded women that understand the struggle, that know how to celebrate, and know how to hold me accountable and get to business. So that's the unveiling. There it is. My other baby. So, because we talked about London the last live and that whole process, but my other baby is the blind spot strategic planning sleepover. I decided to keep blind spot in place because truly, when I'm working with the leaders, I'm helping them to identify their blind spots to their peace, their rest, and their sleep. Because we don't want to talk about it. But at the end of the day, all the things that don't go well is tied to one of those three things. And most of the time, it's tied to one, and that's sleep. So thank y'all for being here with me. Thank you for taking lunchtime with me. Thank you for listening as I unveil my other baby. Have a good weekend. Bye.